So emergency C-sections are being rushed to the OR when you're in labor to have a C-section. Compared to my previous video about a scheduled C-section, it's honestly kind of hard to do a video on this because it's just such a scenario-based situation. I just got home from work and little buddy is down there playing with Austin. Being currently pregnant and having conversations like this is definitely puts certain thoughts through my mind because it's definitely hard being the patient when you know a little too much. So a true crash C-section, as opposed to being called and saying, hey, we have an urgent C-section that needs to go in the next 20-30 minutes. We're talking about pure blown running up there when I get called and have seconds to get to mom and rush her back to the OR with everybody involved. It's all going to depend on several things, but for a full-blown crash C-section, you're just going to go all the way off to sleep. And an urgent C-section, or even a C-section that we have some time for, there is time for me to use your epidural if it is working well, if it's double-sided and there's no hot spots and I can use it and have time to dose it up in a higher dosage of medication. I could use that for the C-section. But a full-blown crashing C-section running to the OR, I'm pushing propofol as soon as I get you in the OR and on monitors, and they are literally making incision as the propofol is hitting your system and you're asleep. So a lot of times it's such a true crash C-section that I don't even have my breathing tube in place, but it's in the process of, but you are off to sleep, completely anesthetized, and they are making incision and getting baby out. It's some of the most adrenaline rushed situations that I ever feel, even sometimes more than when I'm called for a trauma, obviously. Obviously, traumas are huge adrenaline rushes too, but when you're in your call room, either asleep and you get these phone calls, and hopefully the idea is that the team of labor and delivery has been keeping you in the loop of hey, room 3 may need to go for C-section. But sometimes a true crash C-section, you aren't being told anything because they didn't even know. For instance, if mom randomly had a uterine abruption or something like that, or if suddenly baby just wasn't doing well and they couldn't get mom in a different position where baby was happy, and it is a true split decision. Obviously, getting on call or getting taking over covering OB, it is my job to look at all the moms on the labor floor and look at their history and look for possible things that I would need to avoid or know about if there was a true C-section that was needed to happen emergently. So that if it's go time, it's go time, and I'm, obviously there's not going to be any time for me to look you up in the chart. I'd have to just go. And there's obviously certain medications that we avoid on moms, certain medications that we for sure give on moms. It can happen so fast that they make incision and I've just placed your breathing tube and got you on the machine and everything like that, and baby is already out. So it is quite remarkable what they can do when it is time to go and make things happen. Obviously, there's risks involved with putting moms to sleep all the way with general anesthesia. There's certain hormones playing around in your body that are causing your digestion to be a lot slower, so you're always considered a full stomach. So putting you off to sleep, there is a chance that any contents in your stomach, even if you haven't eaten in hours, 6, 12 hours, your gastric contents could come up and then go into your lungs, called aspirating. Once baby has been disconnected from mom, aka the cord has been cut, there's pain medications that I can give you, anti-nausea meds I'm going to give you, and sort of bridge you to waking you up sooner rather than later. Even if you have a perfectly great working epidural, but you are a true crash section, the amount of time it takes for your epidural to fully kick in with my higher dosing medication that I would be using as opposed to the drug that is dripping through your epidural while you're on the floor, there's no time for that. So that is why for a true crash C-section, I am going to choose to put you all the way off to sleep with general anesthesia to make sure that you are safe, feel nothing, and that we can get baby out as soon as possible. It's truly terrifying for dad or partner or whoever's in the room, family member, when we come in and rush mom away without a full-blown introduction of what's fully happening. And, at that point, the partner is not allowed to come to the OR because it is such a cluster. I need all the space that I can get. If you've had a C-section before, you see that the space where I'm working is a very limited, small space. So, my heart obviously goes out to all moms who have been in that situation or any scary birthing situation. And I've partaken in several of them myself, being the provider, and several outcomes have obviously changed me for who I am, and I'll never be the same. That obviously goes for several scenarios of working in healthcare. But yeah, especially when there are good outcomes, it's a feeling like no other. So, anyways, wish I could hug all the moms out there. We're getting here, and only so many weeks left. So now my mind's turning with a bunch of things.